Hello there, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is ChitChad, and first, before we get into today's episode of Planet Coaster, where we are building a Super Mario theme park, I just have to give a shout out to a couple of amazing individuals who really helped me out in a jam. So, to give a little bit of backstory to this, my machine, my PC, has been acting as though demons have been possessing it. I've had all sorts of issues, from my OS being corrupted, to my files being corrupted, to my recordings being corrupted, so all sorts of really bad things. I've had to scrap full recording sessions, I've had to scrap full episodes, I've had to edit around these issues, I've had to save multiple times, I've had to take my files to another computer and work on it on that one, so it's just been an absolute mess. And so I just have to say thank you to three individuals who helped me out, and that is Josh, Guy, and Bernard. So Bernard was actually able to figure out what was going on with my machine, and it's the silliest thing. Like, we were, between Josh, Guy, and Bernard, like, we were swapping out different parts and pieces and trying different things, like getting, you know, new processor, new graphics card, switching it from an i5 to an i7 board, and we were thinking like all this stuff would eventually fix the problem, and sometimes it kind of did for a while, but then it would just go back to being messed up again. To finally figuring out that all of it was just that my RAM was incompatible with my machine. It's something that simple and that silly that now my machine's working like a beast because it has all these amazing parts inside of it. And just recently, I upgraded from a standard hard drive to a solid state drive for my C drive, which is amazing. Everything's running super fast, super clean. So again, I just wanted to publicly say thank you to those three, especially Bernard, who took a weekend, kind of like an entire Saturday, to figure out all the problems that were the machine and like kind of get it down to that it was just the RAM. And then also thank you to Guy, who came over after work to try and help me troubleshoot. And then of course, a huge thank you to Josh, who helped me and basically put together this whole machine to begin with. So all three of you guys have been my lifesaver, and now finally I'm getting back to work. Everything's working amazingly, and I couldn't be happier. So because everything is basically a new machine, I had to re-import all of my Planet Coaster save data over to this new drive. So you may notice that a bunch of the textures that I made for the park, the custom textures, aren't seen right now. They're just grayed out, and that's just because I haven't moved over all my user media, because for whatever reason, and I think it might have happened when I was trying to reboot Windows, it erased my custom image data. It didn't erase my Planet Coaster save data, thank goodness. I actually had that backed up because I had a bit of a scare a while back and I thought my entire park library was demolished, and I freaked out. So I've had a jump drive specifically designated for my Planet Coaster backup, but I didn't back up my user media. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to recreate some of the textures, but as far as like the artwork for like Yoshi and all the Yoshi animations, I still have those videos, so I'll just have to convert them into, I forget the format for Planet Coaster, it's that weird mobile format, but I'll just reconvert them and everything will be fine. You just won't see those in the first couple of episodes. And then there was one other thing, and I'm having a brain fart, so I might remember it down the road. Oh yeah, so one other thing I wanted to mention was that I do have a Discord, and I've mentioned it a couple times before. I think I've actually even posted a video about it, but I do have a Discord, and I'm going to start answering questions and bringing up topics that you, my fellow chatterboxes, bring up in that Discord. So if you want to check that out, if you want to join the conversation, feel free to join my Discord. I will have a link in the description below for you to check that out, and I will be answering those questions towards the end of the video. But for today's video itself, we are going to be bringing back that Kamek's ride that we made a couple of episodes ago and actually reincorporating it into the Yoshi and Toad area of the park. And besides, I feel like he fits very well with the Yoshi side of things, so I just thought this would be a good opportunity to reincorporate him in that area, make a new queue for him, and also a queue main kind of building, which we will finalize once I pick a name. It's down to 3 that I really like, and I just need to pick one. I do have the list somewhere, but I don't have it pulled up right now, and I don't want to try and go searching and then not find the one that I was looking at. But we will eventually finalize the theming of this, but for now, we're just going to kind of get the queue in place and the general theming of the ride, which I kind of go back and forth on a couple of ideas. But I'll finally settle on one with the more vine approach, but a bit more lively than the ones that are over in the Boo spinning ride, because we do also incorporate those vines. So this one's going to be a bit more livelier. So it's almost like we kind of have shadows of one another. They're both spinning rides. One's got a bit more life and vibrancy and color, and the other one's a bit more darker and a bit more spooky, obviously, because it is Boo. So I kind of like that they're opposite of one another. Oh, and that I do remember the other thing that I was actually going to mention. I feel so silly now. So one of the things that I've been having a problem with is how to kind of numerically categorize this entire project and other Planet Coaster based projects to come. And one of the things I'm not a huge fan of is numbering these episodes, because I feel that that limits me into what I can work on when I want to work on it. So originally I had it set to I had one kind of, they were mini series inside of each other. So the Super Mario theme park, and my original vision of it was that the Yoshi/Toad area would be one set of videos, 1 to like 6 or 7, I think. And then the Luigi's Mansion area was going to be another set of videos, 1 from whatever number it was going to end up being. And I feel that really limits me, because this, for example, this is no longer part of Luigi's Mansion. This is now part of the Yoshi Toad area. So would that make it the number after the previous Yoshi build series? So that's very confusing for me. So I think if it's confusing for me, it's probably going to be confusing for you all. So instead, you're going to notice after a while, I'm going to be dropping all the numbers from the videos in this series and just naming things based on what I am working on in that video. And that's going to allow me to basically work on other things outside of the Yoshi area, outside of the Luigi's Mansion. So that way, if I want to build on something that I kind of forgot about, like, oh, this flat ride would be really cool in this area, or oh, maybe I want to make like a times board where it shows all of the ride wait times and animate that, I'm not limited into what I can do. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to start implementing that sooner rather than later. I just got to get new screenshots for everything and update the thumbnails, and hopefully that'll make sense once I get it all started. I'll try to be very descriptive in the actual title of the video so you know what I'm working on. All right, so that brings us to a couple of the questions. Like I said, this is going to be from the Planet Coasters Topics and Questions subform in my Discord. So one of the first questions we got is from HG Cameron, who asks, do you have any other areas planned, and can you tell us about them in the video? Yes, I do have a couple of areas planned. Obviously, we've got the Toad and the Yoshi area, we've got the Luigi's Mansion area, and then towards the back, we're going to have a Magic Kingdom area. What that Magic Kingdom area is going to include is going to be the Superstar Wheel that we had in the previous video game park, the Mario Kart attraction, a Bowser's Barbecue themed restaurant, and then some other things that I've got planned that I'm not 100% sure on how I'm going to implement them yet. But one of the things I've noticed a lot, and I actually do believe that it is another question in the form, is a inclusion of something Super Mario Odyssey related. Which is, I haven't played the game myself, but I've watched plenty of footage and Let's Plays of it, and I really enjoy it, so I kind of want to add something in there. As to what, I'm not sure yet, except for one thing, which is kind of a good segue, because, and I sorry if I mispronounce your name here, Philius asked if there is going to be a Cappy themed hat shop, and that's actually something that they've brought up in the past on my Discord and even on the channel, and I think that is a fantastic idea. We are totally going to be making that, and that's definitely going to be one of the inclusions of Super Mario Odyssey. But I do want to do something that's like a ride theme, but I don't want to promise that because I don't know how it's going to work just yet. I would really like to incorporate New Donk City. I think that's such a fun setting. So if I am going to do something, it's definitely going to be themed around that. The last question is going to be, and again, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, Sedwitty, Sedwity, Sedwitty, who is also a amazing supporter on the Discord. So I just want to say thank you so much for helping people out. I've noticed that you answer questions when I'm not there, so I just want to say thank you for that. They ask if we will see a Pachinko machine in a Super Mario Sunshine Zone. That is evil. That is absolutely evil. That Pachinko machine. It was the bane of my existence for a very long time, and I think that thing gave me more trouble than the Sandbird did. And yeah, I don't know that there's gonna be a pachinko machine, but I think I did say in the past I would also like to include something Super Mario Sunshine related, just because I also really love that game. But we'll just see. I don't think, like I said, don't think there's gonna be a pachinko machine, but maybe we'll find a way to reference it. I don't know. But that is going to lead us to the end of the questions, and that's actually going to lead us to the end of today's episode. If you like this content and you want to see more, consider subscribing. It would really help me out. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, I will chat with you later.